What's up, YouTube perverts? Welcome back to another episode of AM Training. It is week 1 of a 6-week block before right before a meet. So I actually am 6 weeks away. So training's going well. I'm actually having a lot of time able to do accessories. I think this is because I'm pretty much at finals week, or 2 weeks, with a bunch of practicals and a bunch of finals. And the cool thing about that is that even though it's a little more stressful academically, it is a little bit better with I'm supposed to be studying, but I tend to use that time for accessories and training. So with accessories, let's talk about accessories. So a lot of people, myself included, kind of get lost in like, what accessories should I be using? I know when I first started lifting, I just kind of did what everyone else was kind of doing. So now that I have, I guess 13-14 years of powerlifting experience and coaching, I guess, is that you want to tailor those accessories to help your lifts. And you want to tailor them to, of course, that, help out with your accessories, help out with your weakness. And so that's what a lot of people say, but what exactly are your weaknesses? I mean, people, of course, see that, they see a stripper squat, they're like, oh, weak quads. But what exactly do you do besides front squats in order to help that out? Or, if you're weak off the chest or in the bench press, does that mean you need more chest work, or does that mean you need more tricep work in order to help your chest go? So it kind of depends on how you lift. So there are a couple things that I kind of like screen when I see my clients, like when they do like the big 3. Are they avoiding movement? Are they using like kind of compensating stronger muscles in order to avoid that movement? What's their style? Are they a wide squatter? Are they a narrow stance squatter, or vice versa with benching? So you have to take those things into account. And so let me give you kind of a list of like what my favorite things to do depending on what is presented to me with my clients or myself. So with me, I'm doing high bar beltless or high bar squats. The reason why I kind of picked that variation for now, it's my main lift, but it's kind of an accessory lift because I don't really compete in high bar. The reason why is because I'm getting overloaded a lot with training with squatting heavy, and prior blocks I kind of get burnt out right before I max out because just the accumulation of fatigue. So this way I feel a little bit fresher, my shoulders don't get me too bad, plus quads tend to be a little bit of my weakness. As you can see, sometimes I do a little stripper squat where my hips rise faster than my shoulders, or not at the same time. That tends to be indicative of you trying to shorten the moment arm of your quads and not really pushing that weight. So the bar isn't moving, but your hips are rising up faster because you're trying to get pretty much use your back to muscle up the weight. It's kind of a simplified version of what's happening there. So what would I do for someone that squats like that? So first of all, is it a technique issue? Tends to be, it kind of depends on that. What sucks about being in PT school is that when you're presented with a case, everything depends. Everything is like a question. The right thing can be the wrong thing, or the wrong thing can be the right thing. And it's like, that's what's not sexy about these videos, is that it depends, and everyone wants a clear answer. I'm gonna try to have the best takeaway, but the thing is, it's like everything has, it depends with, it's situational, it's conditional, it's nuanced, it's sprinkled with it depends, and it's gonna be a lot of that. But so anyways, let's go back to what I would do, what accessories I would use for this squat, that stripper squat. So when I have my online clients, what's cool about me being an online coach is that I have to pick accessories that tend to be like fail proof. Yes, I will always coach them all the way, but what happens with me being an online coach is that I give them like post-lift feedback. So I'm not there during the lift, and I can't be like, hey, make sure you kind of drive your back into the bar more. I have to pick lifts that tend to be a little bit dummy proof. hopefully all my clients are watching this, because I mean that in the most offensive way possible. Yeah, so like the front squat is cool because if you mess up and you actually do a stripper squat, you're gonna dump the weight. It's not gonna feel great for you. So I tend to like accessories that kind of have that foolproof kind of lift, where if they lift wrong, then they'll feel it and they'll know it's wrong. Other accessories that might help out, let's say someone is in the squat where they are not hitting depth, and they're kind of they're not hitting depth because they're kind of apprehensive at the hole. So I've had a friend kind of do a squat where they barely hit depth, probably even above parallel, and they're really slow. So what happens that and so my friend, again, it depends. My friend kind of went into the squat where they were really fast, and then they slowed down significantly at the bottom, and then they went back up. So what I would do for them is I would actually have, or even I had clients that do the same thing, I would have them do a descending pause squat. The reason why that helps is because they are kind of slow at the top, and they'll pause, and usually after the pause, they're like, screw this, this is hard, and then they kind of drop down kind of instinctively. So they drop down into the hole with that amount of speed. So two things, with that amount of speed, they'll get the nice little stretch reflex at the bottom, and then also they'll kind of usually break parallel, because with that momentum going into it, they can go ahead and reverse it. And so with that being said, another great thing about having that descending pause squat is that the first half of the descent, right before they pause, they tend to slow it down. And so when they slow it down because they're ready for that pause, they're controlling that momentum. So a lot of people that dive bomb, which I used to be a dive bomber myself, they kind of get all, it's like a give and take. Is the stretch reflex that good, like the risk versus reward, is that more beneficial than if you were to slow it down and control it at the hole? So it really depends on the lifter and their style. So when I was a dive bomber, you know, I was trying to get that stretch reflex, the heavier I went, the more I noticed that I was losing positioning. So again, if I were to tell my old self to squat better, I'd probably tell myself to back off, because you don't know what you're doing. My truth is my truth. You don't know me. But then I would also, I would still try to tell my older self, like, hey, maybe if you slow down the top position of your squat and then kind of drop into it a little bit better, you'll be able to minimize the momentum going into the hole, where you won't feel like it just catches you like that. So yeah, I think I like talking about accessories. So let's make this whole 6-week block about accessories and why I choose them and what I do for them. So I kind of talked about the squat a little bit. Looks like we're 8 minutes into this video, so I'm actually gonna stop it right there. I'll talk about more squats, more benching, more deadlift accessories. So yeah, stay tuned. Again, I'm playing, you know, my background training, just if you're interested in my background training, because this is leading up to the meet. But I just wanted to talk about accessories real quick, but I think I'm enjoying talking about accessories because I know a lot of you guys tend to, you know, slide into my DMs and ask me what I should do, what they should do, what I should do. I'm kind of a big deal. You're not telling me what to do. But no, they asked me what they should do in order to help out with a specific weakness or a certain pain. I tend to be kind of like a person to go to for pain because, you know, I'm studying physical therapy. So again, it all depends on the lift and the lifter, but that's where that answer sucks. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit more concrete answers in order for you to have a nice takeaway and apply it to your training if you care what I say. But if you made it this far, I appreciate it. So make sure you smash that like button. I'm gonna point here. Hopefully I'm pointing in the right direction. for that like button, because that is going to give YouTube that algorithm to make sure that my stuff gets seen, and I will continue to make these videos, because they do take a good 10 minutes of my day. It is now 10 minutes. So again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, because all of that stuff is great for my algorithm and all my ego. So train hard, train smart.